Whose face do you see? Take a look at that face. Whose face is it? This was a face in a picture sent to me regarding the Sebastian Rogers case. This is a face that I found, I detected and blew up and have been studying from footage allegedly captured that night, February 25th, 2024, the last night Sebastian Rogers was seen. Whose face is it? Well, I'm sure I can tell you one thing. In my opinion, that facial surveillance that is coming up with facial recognition and digital identity will reveal, indeed, who this person is. I am taking you back to Hendersonville, Tennessee, middle of Tennessee, 18 miles northeast of Nashville, where Sebastian Rogers, who is now 16 years old and was 15 when he was last seen, February 25th, 2024. He was under the supervision of his mother, and the last proof of life is him leaving the Texas Roadhouse in Hendersonville around 6:25 p.m. on February 25th, 2024, with him and his mother. He has not been seen since. Hendersonville has a population of 64,000. Sebastian is on the FBI Most Wanted. There is a $500,000 reward. And in light of all of this, Sumner County Sheriff's Office has very little to say. They have not done a press conference since April 2nd of 2024. They do not speak regularly of Sebastian. They do not speak of Sebastian. They do not bring awareness, reminders that Sebastian is not home. Sebastian has an Amber Alert. TBI does not do regular media alerts, updates, information, even if it's just bringing his image forth to remind people he's still not home. That is what's required and is not being done. I ask you why. Well, Seth Rogers, the father of Sebastian, also asks why. He wants to know why, and he needed answers in finding his child, not silence. Silence that has been endured. Silence that speaks volumes from Sumner County. So he hired At Night Intelligence, who is with One World and Dog the Bounty Hunter, and they are going to be doing face surveillance, which will detect images and analyze them and identify them. What they do is they look at those images that were captured around Sebastian at the Texas Roadhouse, in the neighborhood with the flashlights, near a sedan at 3 a.m., and they'll take those images. And what they'll do is they'll analyze it for its unique features, such as distances between features like the ear and the nose, the eyes, how far apart are they? The width of the nose, the shape of the cheekbones, the jawline. And I say that because the face I'm about to focus on with you has a very strong jawline, the contour of the lips, and they will create a facial signature, also known as a template, which is unique to that individual. And they'll be comparing it with databases, public databases, all of the above, to see if indeed they can make an identification. So if the person is a public figure, has a public reputation, is in some sort of a database with mugshots, etc., they will be able to compare it and make an identity. And when we look at this with our eyes, imagine how crystal clear it will look with their technology. So that is the father's team who will be conducting this. Now, this picture was sent to me, and I've received many of them. But I wanted to bring this forth because this one's very important. And yes, I have reported it. First of all, I'm showing you this right here because I wanted you to notice there's tail lights, but I also want you to focus right here on this face. Do you see a face? Do you see a face? I do. And I want to talk about it with you. Now I blow it up a little bit, take out part of the picture of the taillights so you could see the face a little bit more. Do you see a top of the head, the ears, the jaw, the chin, a mustache, a nose, eyes, and a forehead? Here's still the taillights down here for reference. Take a look at that. Do you see that? Pull back a little bit away from it. Then go forward. Do you see that? Okay. Now I've blown it up a little bit more for you, and as promised, I'm going to break it down for you and show you what I see. I could absolutely be incorrect. I am theorizing, speculating, giving my opinion based on an image from the footage allegedly that night. Can we confirm all of that? No. Law enforcement has said it was a trash truck, but in my opinion, not accurate. Okay. Now let's go ahead and look at what I see. I see a crew cut up here, dark brown, very short crew cut, dark brown. Between the crew cut and the ears, the sides are shaved. Now, in military, my dad was former military. He used to call this a high-end tight. Okay. Shaved on the sides and a crew cut on top. High-end tight. Okay. Dark brown, brown hair, shaved on the side is what I see. I see a mustache over here, same color, brown. I see a small beard, thin beard, not a huge beard, because you can see the cheek. Okay. You can see the cheek here. So thin beard, same color as the mustache and the hair down here. Okay. Eyes, nose, and your ears. Now remember, they'll be able to measure the ears, the width of the nose, the distance, the eye and the top of the head, the chin, and they'll make a facial template. But do you recognize this person? Now, remember, he has a very small social circle. People at school, family acquaintances. And, we're talking about a stranger would be 1%. 1% statistically that a stranger took Sebastian. But then again, we've heard the whispers around the command center, et cetera, saying it was not random. So Sebastian was targeted. It wasn't an opportunity where someone just happed upon him. He was targeted, most likely by someone that knew him or the family. Okay. That 1% is very rare. Most common being family or family acquaintances, family friends. So do you recognize, if you know the family, this person? This person knows who they are, and I'm sure right now is having a panic attack, because if we can see this and they can see this, I'm sure they know what can be seen once the technology is applied. So here's the picture, and then here's the blow up. I also want to point out the very strong jawline. Very strong jawline here. In my opinion, there will be a digital identity on this individual. Here's the tail lights in the bottom. There will be a digital identity. Who has a military-like haircut? Crew cut, shaved on the sides, mustache, thin beard, strong jawline. Do you recognize this person? Now, I'd love your opinions on this. Please do not use full names. If you think you know who this is, you are welcome to leave an initial, never a name, because we are all just speculating, not accusing. I think, in my opinion, I recognize who this individual is. And yes, I have reported it. Absolutely, I have. And one thing I do want to say is, if you don't want to miss something else I detected in that photo, be sure you hit that notification bell. So it brings up questions for me. Does it bring up questions for you looking at this face? Whose face is it? Has that person been interviewed by law enforcement who had this footage long before it was leaked? If not, why? Did they recognize the individual? Have they interviewed the individual? Did the individual come forward? If they haven't, now's the time. Because if we can see it like that, woo, imagine. It'll be like they're standing right in front of them. Did law enforcement investigate who that person could be if they didn't recognize him? Now, we know with an Amber Alert, you usually get a description. There was no description given or asked to the public to help locate this person. There was no description given of the sedan that was in the neighborhood. None of the above. Why not? Why not when that footage was being looked at immediately, day one? Why were there people near a car at 3 a.m. near a home of a child who went missing that very night with flashlights lurking. Facial surveillance, do you think it's going to crack the case? I do. Do you think once identities are made and given to law enforcement, their silence will stop and they will make an arrest or at least an interview, find out what in the world that person's doing right there? I hope so. Who do you think that image is? Use initials, please. Do you see it? Do you see something different? Let me know. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to hit that notification bell because you absolutely don't want to miss what else I've noticed in that image, in that picture, and it is a shocking image. So hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for being here, and like, share, and subscribe. We would absolutely love to have you. Keep keeping on, my friends, and we will talk soon.